should be good. Welcome to the stream. So, here we are again, just following up on yesterday's questing. We should be live. I've got the new headset mic, so hopefully the sound will not cut. Alright, let's go.
I'm behind on my report and...
So yesterday we finished the first achievement, the Druid of the Claw, and now, just a moment, fixing the sound. Alright, so we are back in Dunmorrow, and now we are going to make level 10 before moving on to Vagash, which will be the next achievement. Level 10 is going to be very important. We're getting dual wield, but especially sprint, which is definitely going to help against Vagash, which can be extremely dangerous if we are not careful. So, if I remember correctly, we still needed a little of boar meat for the beer-basted ribs. Otherwise, we are now level 9, so we are pretty high level for this area now. So we're just gonna do some quests. It shouldn't be very hard. Here we go for the ribs. Might as well cash them in while we're right next to the town. Still have one bottling route. Might save it for Vagash, we'll see. Still have some food, our scroll of spirit.
Fill your tankard and pull up a chair. We've stories to tell and kegs to empty.
And we can now cash in our quest and get to the rest of the Dunmorrow
The malt
quests.
is brewed, the boars are dead.
Get some nice stamina food here. And we're good to go. Here we can do the Wendigo quests. If we were level 6 or 7, this would be a very dangerous spot. Although even at level 9, this can be a little bit tricky. We always need to be very careful in the caves, especially since there seems to be a bunch of people around, so there might be hyper respawn, so we need to be very careful about that. But otherwise at level 9 it should not be any problem here to get the quest done. One thing I just realized that I forgot is the mining, and I definitely want to get mining and engineering before doing Dunmorrow so we can get as much copper as possible for engineering. especially since we already have some linen cloth, so we can make some dynamite right away, which might be pretty useful actually. So we're just gonna go back to Iron Forge real quick. Although I forgot if there's a mining trainer in there. Karanos, there might be. I'm gonna check that out because we definitely do not want to miss out on these copper veins because it can take a while to level mining up.
What's on your... What do you need directions to? Which profession trainer would you be looking for? Surely you didn't think you would find a town without a resident...
So fortunately we only need to go over here for the mining trainer. It's been a little while since I've done this route, so don't remember exactly where all the professions are. So we definitely want to get our mining training going on, and I think the engineering trainer is in the next house over. Oh, no,
Just a
never
minor
mind, it's
adjustment
right here.
There we go.
Gonna grab our engineering and our mining. Now we only need to find a general goods vendor so we can get a mining pick. And a bag vendor would probably be nice as well. So we can get an additional 6 slots. Might as well keep that recipe for now.
Off with you.
One thing we want to keep in mind is the next dagger, which if I remember correctly is at level 11, the next white NPC dagger. I think it's 14 silver for the dagger, but we'll also have to train sprint and dual wheel, so we are definitely going to be a little bit short on cash. And the level 11 dagger will be very nice for Hogger, which will be the next achievement after Vagash. Vagash is at level 10, Hogger level 11. So if we can get enough money, that would be great. I think I have an energy ticker in my add-ons. Just gonna check this out real quick, 1 second. Alright, we are back. Just needed to update my add-ons because I hadn't played in a while. The energy ticker is actually very useful. Not as useful without stealth, but when you have stealth it's very useful because you can open with, say, an ambush or whatever just as you're about to tick an energy, which allows you to get a better combo off, such as ambush into gouge immediately instead of having to wait an energy tick. But even for our purposes here, it's always very nice. Like here, I know I can do Sinister Strike into Eviscerate immediately without having to wait. It would be nice if we can get a copper vein here, make some dynamite. I see there's one over there, maybe we can get it. There seems to be a lot of people in the mine though, so in this cave we might need to get lucky to get some ore, but shouldn't be too bad. Having some dynamite is always nice, a little burst of damage, why not? And they're very cheap to make. Always have to be careful in these caves. You don't want to get respawned on too much, especially when there's a bunch of players around. This might get a little bit tricky, but fortunately we are a couple of levels ahead of this cave, so we should be fairly safe even if we get spawned on. But always need to be careful in caves. Got a chest over there. What I'm really looking for right now is a potion. I would feel a lot safer taking on Vagash next with a potion, especially in caves or against elite. You really would prefer to have a potion, well, at all times especially, but if we could get one before we have to take on Vagash, that would be really nice. That's mainly what I'm looking for in a chest right now. Maybe we'll get lucky. Nope, unfortunately we did not get lucky, but we're gonna empty the chest anyway just so it can respawn and not leave a chest with a single item for someone else. The leather can be useful for engineering. Although for the recipes that we'll need, I don't think it's needed. One thing we do want leather for is the masterwork training dummy. I think it's rugged leather for the achievement, which will be to craft a masterwork dummy before reaching level 51. I would say it's pretty unlikely that we'll make it to level 50, but just in case. If we happen to find some rugged leather in either fishing crates or a lucky chest, that would be very nice, because it's the only way to get rugged leather, because we will not have skin. There's a bunch of patrols and close by mobs here, so even though we out-leveled them, we still gotta be a little careful. We do not have sprint yet to get out of trouble, only evasion, so I would rather not pull too many at once. So here we have our first copper vein. Gonna have to make a little space. I forgot to buy a bag. Although I don't think we'll have enough money for a bag quite yet. I'd rather get my dagger at level 11, and we're also gonna need a bunch of cash for these skills at level 10. Luckily we found a small pouch. If we get very lucky, we might find another. And now have engineering as well, so we can make some dynamite, but we'll need to create some space first. I guess we can give up the spirit scrolls for now. Spirit not the most useful stat for rogue, but the regen is still better than nothing. Now we're just gonna clear our way to the next vein, because we're already done with the quest, but we would like to get a little bit more copper ore if we can, and more stone as well for more dynamite and engineering skills. Have a rare spawn here, need to be a little bit careful. It's level 9. Missed the gouge, which is unfortunate. The lower level rares, very often have special abilities which can be quite annoying. Sometimes they hit quite hard, so we need to be careful. We're already getting respawns, so we'll need to clear fairly quickly. The chest has already respawned, which is very fortunate. Hopefully we can get it. And maybe get a potion if we are lucky. Let's see what we have in here. Oh, we have 2 potions, which is amazing. Gonna need to make a little bit of space for this stuff. Another bag would really be quite nice, but that's fine. The potion is having 2 potions in backup is going to be extremely useful. Feeling a lot safer with even some minor potions. A little unfortunate that we have to drop one rough stone, but we're really gonna need a lot of cash for the coming levels. And these big grey weapons are actually worth quite a bit of money. And we're gonna cash in Rumble's shot next, so we are gonna be able to sell everything another weapon. But I don't think we can spare the space right now, unfortunately. Since grenades and dynamite is so cheap, you might as well use it whenever you have a good occasion. If there's two mobs like this, you might as well. And we are finally out of the cave. So as you can see, these caves, slow and steady wins the race. Don't be in too much of a hurry. Clear carefully, and you're gonna be fine. We can now go in and cash in the Rumble Shop ammo, and most importantly, sell all of our trash loot and get some much needed silver.
No! Hegnar Rumbleshot at your service! Great, more ammo! Old Lost Law's shipment finally came through! The ammo might be late, but just like my granddaddy used to tell me, late's better than never. Thank you much, adventurer. I already have buyers eager for this stuff.
We can give old Icebeard a look here. If we are lucky, maybe some other players will have taken him out. If not, well, I don't really want to tempt fate, such as this guy over here that died to the level 11 elite. Not without sprint. Maybe if we are level 10 and we happen to be around here, we can snatch it real quick. It's pretty easy XP, but not worth the risk right now.
What? I had a month's worth of dried meat salted and locked away for the...
We actually have a decent amount of silver with the weapons we found in the Yeti cave. So if there's a bag vendor here, I forgot if there's one. Probably not, but maybe in Karanos.
Bellow Fizz needs some of my Evershine. Alright. I have a cask of Evershine handy, but... Can you do me a favour? Brunel village could use a hand against the wild animals that wander the nearby snows. Sometimes they wander...
These bears have a pretty nasty debuff on top of having more health than regular mobs, but fortunately we're a little bit over the level for the zone here, so this should not be a problem. Although there seems to be a bunch of other players around, which might have to wait for some spawns, but it looks okay. That was the debuff in question. The slows your attack speed by 100%. As with all boars, these have a charge attack. So if you can avoid it, that's good. This one did not do it yet. Remember that if you're far enough, sometimes you can outrange the charge. It only lasts, I think, 3 seconds. Like this, so he's not gonna have the extra damage on his attack. If you're lucky, you can also gouge it before it hits you in melee. Because if you get crit by that charge, it's actually quite a lot of damage, probably almost half my HP. we have Kronos in the chat saying hello. Hello, Kronos. Welcome to the vibe. So as I said earlier, when the charge happens, you can gouge it and not get hit if you time it well, which is always nice. Testing the sound for Kronos again. I think the mic was not placed properly. How about this now? Testing the sound again. 1, 2, 3. Is it better? In the chat. So it seems that even with the headset mic, the sound is still a bit scuffed. So gonna have to figure something out for probably the next stream. Little sound check once again. Sound check 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, so we got level 10. At level 10 I like to go improve Sinister Strike first, get that to 40 energy at level 11. I usually stay combat until level 30, at which point I will switch to Salty for preparation, which is extremely useful in hardcore, can definitely save your life. And now we're gonna go up to Shimmer Ridge for the Shimmerweed. This is an extremely dangerous zone with a lot of casters, so we need to be extremely careful because they hit quite hard. Alright, still testing the sound a little bit. Hopefully this is better. Never mind, this is extremely loud. So we do want to be mindful of our experience here because we don't want to go over level 10 before Vagash. Alright, this is an extremely dangerous area full of casters that chain aggro, so we want to be very careful when we navigate this place. In fact, we'll probably go the other way because the mobs are not quite as tightly packed. Well, we can get a quick sneak peek, maybe get some ore around here, if it's safe to do so. Got a patrol here, we need to be very careful. And we won't be greedy for the other one because there's a lot of casters here and I don't want to risk dying for just a single copper vein. As you can see, these hit quite hard, so it's not a bad place to use some stamina food. Helps out just a little bit. Here we really want to outrange these mobs as much as possible, so we have 2 here, and I don't really like that. Both are linked. So we could split pull with a grenade, but honestly this might be more trouble than it's worth, and since we're level 10, we should be able to grab this without aggroing the mob. And we can take out the casters that are alone on the left. Gonna make some bandages to be able to pick up a little bit more linen. And here we have another player, and we need to be extremely careful so that he doesn't pull any mobs on us. This is often a big danger. We still need 2 more shimmerweed. But this is a very dangerous area and we need to be careful. Oh, we got 1 here. So we'll only be missing 1. I think we can get that one in the back without aggroing because we are level 10. But just to be safe, we're gonna get this one here and make sure to pull it way back because I do not know if this one will aggro if it resets if the mage runs away. Alright, he got both of them, that's good. And we can grab our final Shimmerweed. And while we're kind of close to the east side, we will head to Ironforge, where we will get dual wield, sprint, and probably will have enough money to buy the level 11 dagger. Or maybe it's level 10, I forgot. And when we have all of that, we will go to Vagash for the achievement before we head all the way back here to finish all of these quests, because I think that if we do everything over there, we might hit level 11. And of course we need to do Vagash at level 10 for the achievement.
Fill your tankard and pull up a chair. We've stories to tell and kegs to empty.
Keep your feet on the ground. What's on?
For me, you're a true hero, adventurer.
Talk to me.
What brings you to this part of the world?
Off with you.
We actually might find a dagger here because we already have sprint and dual wield.
Get for you today.
Nope, here is only the level 3 dagger. And I think the dagger might be level 10, the white dagger. I'm just gonna check real quick. Yep, unfortunately it is level 11. But since it's only for silver, we can probably buy this one. Or actually we could use the worn dagger, but I want to keep it for Death Clasp just for the memes. So we're just gonna buy this one for now. By the time we hit level 11 we should be fine for the next one anyway. And so now that we have both sprint and dual wield, we can go and get Vagash, which can be definitely a dangerous encounter, so I'm glad we have potions, evasion, sprint, some grenades. We'll go over the strategy when we get there.
Yes, the...
Rip to this guy. F in the chat. So I'm not sure if this warlock is here to do the Vagash quest. If so, I'll let him go first. I would rather solo it for the glory and to be able to show you how it's done.
We heard the cries in the middle of the night.
Looks like he's gonna do it. So we're just gonna go kill some stuff real quick. But the basic strat anyway will be to grab Vagash over here. Gonna kite him all the way over here. And here we can use the jump to be able to gouge kite him a little bit better. If things go south, we can drag him to this guard, which usually will help us out, but sometimes not, so I would rather not rely on him. And we also need to do at least 50% of the damage to be able to loot the quest item. So that's going to be the basic strategy. Valgash has a frost breath that does a lot of damage and can also root you in place, which is quite bad. So we'll need to be very careful. But if we are safe with sprint, evasion, potion, and some dynamite, we should be okay. Got some chunks of boar meat. So while we're waiting for that other guy to kill Vagash, we can check the cooking trainer over here. If I remember correctly, there's also a fire where we can raise cooking it a little bit. If he's here already, he probably is already finished, or maybe he skipped it, so we'll go check it out, see if Vagash is up. We'll still have our stamina buff, but just to be safe, we'll refresh it. After Vagash, it's going to be Hugger at level 11, so we're going to have to take the tram to Elwyn Forest, which will be a lot easier than the skip to Teldrassil. Thank you for the follow, Jorgamunger. Welcome to the vibe. You can see the achievements at the bottom of the screen that we are currently going for. It's going to be the run for now. So first of all, we're going to refresh our food buff just to be safe. And as I've said, the strat will be to kite him to the house so that we can use the jump from the roof if need be. Just want to tag him constantly to make sure that he doesn't reset. He's getting a little bit close. We'll have to go for a gouge. As long as we don't miss the gouges, this should be good. But if a gouge misses, this might be a bit sketch, so we will have to be careful here. As you can see, he hits quite hard, 31 on a basic hit. So ideally I would like to keep gouging without getting hit at all, but I could go for a Sinister Strike, but it can get pretty scuffed. I don't think it's worth going for the Sinister Strike. This is the breath, and we're already getting pretty low, which is a bit of a problem. And this is why we have a potion. And this is definitely getting a little bit scuffed, so we're gonna go for the guard here. Maybe he can help us out. Just gonna wait until he pulls aggro, and then we can go for the eviscerate to do enough damage. Unfortunately, we did not do enough damage. But better to be safe than sorry with this guy. So it's probably going to be better to just go for the gouges, not the Sinister Strike, because we really do not want to get hit at all. This is a pretty long fight. I've done this one before without the guard. However, I would really prefer not having to use a potion if I can avoid it. We only have 2. And we can definitely make some more dynamite though and use that on cooldown. That will definitely be helpful. I forgot about that. Alright, let's do this again. So as you can see, if I go in melee for any kind of time, I can get clapped extremely quickly. So since he's low HP, we're just gonna play it safe, get him down, and collect our reward. Alright. It's always a bit scary, but we still have our cooldowns and our potions, so pretty good kill.
Very well done. Baron will be so happy when he hears the good news.
And here we
To
go,
kill
we
Vegas
have
is
our
no easy
second
task.
achievement.
I imagine one day you'll be fighting
Thank you,
alongside King
Kronos, in
Magni's
the
men.
chat. And now that we have our achievement, we can reach level 11, so we can go back and finish the zone over there. If I remember correctly, we could go to Ironforge first to grab the rogue quest, so we might as well. Unfortunately, we will not be able to use the quest reward because it is a green dagger, not a white dagger. But I think if we sell everything, we will have enough cash for the level 11 dagger at the merchant, so maybe we can go and get that while we're in Ironforge. I think it's worth grabbing that quest because the green dagger will sell for a nice amount of cash. While we're here, we can also bank a bunch of stuff. Definitely need the bank space.
How are you? He grows fatter and more corrupt with each passing day. Ye can...
Making a special purchase? Alrighty then.
We did get a bunch of grey weapons this run, so we're good on money. We might even have enough for another 6-slot bag, which would be quite nice.
Here there.
Hey, good.
Welcome.
Nope. Unfortunately, the dagger is 23 silver, which is a bit much for now. Do not want to repair because of the achievement.
See you
But
soon.
since we're pretty close to the... Actually, I'd probably rather buy a bag and come back at level 11 for the dagger. So I think we can buy one bag, finish the zone, and then we'll have enough money for the level 11 dagger, which will be a pretty big upgrade.
Making a special purchase? Alrighty then.
Forgot to update our display up here.
with you.
And we're just gonna go smelt the copper ore for skill points, so that the veins take us even higher. Alright, we're all done here. I'm just gonna go bank our copper bars that we'll keep for leveling engineering a little bit later. And then we can finish tomorrow for level 11, and then we'll head to Elwyn Forest for the Hugger achievement at level 11.
You got my attention. Watch your back.
now that we have level 10 and sprint, we can do a little bit of a detour and go back to old Icebeard, the elite Yeti in the cave. Might be able to get the item. We'll have to see if he patrols out of the cave. Alright, at some point he should patrol out of the cave and to the left here. At level 10 I could probably gouge him and loot the item, but honestly, since he slows and hits extremely hard, I don't think I want to risk it. So we're just gonna vibe a little bit, see if he wants to patrol out of his cave at some point, and hopefully not finish like this guy. Unfortunately, it seems old Icebeard is not being very cooperative right now, but we'll have one last chance to check him out when we come back from the West quests.
Talk to me.
Thank you, adventurer. It'll be nice to work our crafts without hearing so many growls and snorts outside the village. Here's your cask of Evershine, adventurer. And a
What can I get for you today? Safe travels.
Alright, so over here we'll have the Leper Gnomes quest, the Rogue quest, and then we'll finish at the Frost Hold, the Trolls Cave, and these 3 quests should be quite a good bit of experience and gold. So we might be on hyper spawns here, so we'll need to be careful about this. Definitely do not want to pull too many of these at once, so we'll need to be very mindful of our surroundings.
Keep it down, you daft fool! They'll hear us! The quarry Yap! I see those monstrous armoured steam tanks come by this post near every day. My contacts to the east tell me that the tank starts off at Ironforge, makes a pickup at the Golbola Quarry, stops over at Karanos to refuel, and then, for some blasted reason, it takes the long way around past Nomaregan before reaching Ironforge to drop off the shipment. It's all in the report, person. Take it back to Halfdan so he can plan the next step.
Alright, so we're done with our class quest. Now we finished the gnomes, then the trolls, and we should be good. See ya, Kronos. Here we are at level 11, so we're going to take the second point in Sinister Strike, and when we get back to Ironforge we'll be able to buy the level 11 dagger, which will be quite a big upgrade, just in time for Hugger that we need to complete at level 11. As you can see, these gnomes respawn very quickly, so this is why I'm staying on the side of the mountain. Definitely do not want to go deep in the village. Get spawned on. There's also a lot of them just running around. Definitely do not want to get some aggro from the back. Like this one over here, running at a pretty good speed. Want to make sure that we don't get run into. Just one more core and we're good to go. As you can see, you can outrange that debuff if they start casting. And now that we're done, we're just gonna go down to Frostmane Hold, which is gonna be the last quest on this side of the zone. Once again, this is a cave, and there's a lot of ranged mobs in there, so we definitely need to be careful. But at level 11, we should be alright. We have our potion, our evasion, and our sprint if things get bad. Just like the gnomes, you really need to be careful about the hyperspawn in there. If there's a bunch of players around, it can definitely respawn on you very quickly, so we need to be still very careful about it. So the headhunters are ranged, so we're gonna line of sight him a little bit here. We've got 2, which should be alright since we're level 11. Not gonna get too many parries or misses. So a nice little strat you can do with those is when you gouge, you can get a knife in, and if you're very quick coming back into melee, you can avoid getting hit by a spear, but unfortunately he kept resisting my gouges there. Which is exactly why, ideally, you don't want to fight higher level mobs, so definitely lower level mobs as ideal as a melee in general. So this one is a little bit annoying, we won't be able to pull him too much. So if I can actually land a gouge, I'll be able to show you what I mean. Maybe on the next one. As you can see, we need to be very careful in this cave. We got a dead adventurer here. This one is very close to him, so I really don't want to pull both at the same time, since they're both ranged. That Curse of Weakness is actually a really bad debuff for Rogue, so we'll need to be extra careful here. But we're almost done. We just need to get there and we will be finished with this quest, and we can heart back to Karanos. But we still want to be very careful with that debuff. We're gonna lose quite a lot of damage. So if you take a step back, you throw the knife and you immediately go back in melee. can get back before he gets to throw a spear, which can be pretty nice. As you can see, our white damage is quite terrible now. Careful about the path. As you can see, our damage is absolutely terrible because of the debuff. Good thing there's no hyper spawn because this is getting a little bit scary. Thankfully the debuff is over. So we have a bunch of copper veins in the area, but honestly I'm feeling a little bit nervous here. This is a pretty dangerous area, and I'd rather not stick around any more than is necessary. And that's our quest complete, and we can heart back to Karanos to complete the quests.
Fill your tankard and pull up a chair. We've stories to tell and kegs to empty.
Be good.
Ah, adventurer! Oh, I didn't think you'd have much trouble finding. Excellent.
And we're not gonna go back to Old Icebeard, so we can abandon this quest.
These gyromechanic gears and restabilization cogs are in perfect...
Yes, this will do just fine. I think I'll open a bottle right now and have a taste.
See you soon. You got
Welcome to Steel Grill's Depot.
safe travels.
So here in Iron Forge, I'll wait until after Hogger to cash in these 2 quests. We already have enough money for the level 11 dagger. There's also a new thrown weapon at level 11, which is going to be quite nice. I'm just going to bank our current mining stuff. And then we can head to the tram and get to Elwyn for a Hogger achievement.
What's on your mind? You good?
Actually, we still have quite a lot of experience to go, and there's no pre-quest for Hogger, so I think we can just cash in these quests. Because right after a Hogger, at level 12, we'll have Benny Blanco in the Westfall area, so we'll want to hit level 12 as soon as possible anyway. And once we're level 12 and we've cleared Benny, we'll be able to come back here, go to Loch Modan, and prepare for the next achievement, which will be quite a difficult one actually.
What authority of the king has
Great, Amica.
long route in the name of me own beard?
This is usually a very amazing weapon at this level, but unfortunately we are only using white weapons for this challenge, so we will not get to use this one. Gonna do a little bit of cooking while we're here, and then we're gonna go buy our level 11 weapons. The main hand dagger level 11 and the thrown daggers level 11, both of which will be very helpful for Hogger and Benny Blanco.
Hey! You have a great day now.
Here we have our daggers vendor.
What's on your mind?
Definitely want to buy this 7.1 DPS instead of our 3.3. So quite a big upgrade here. And while we're at it, we'll also get the new throwing weapons at 6.3 DPS instead of 3, which is also a very nice upgrade. Level 11 is quite a big level for this run. And we'll be ready to go to Elwyn through the tramway. But this seems like a good place to stop the stream for today. So thank you for watching. Hope you learned something. And as usual, I'll be putting this one, the VOD, on YouTube along with some highlight. I'll do a bit of a playlist. There's going to be a playlist for the VODs, a playlist for the highlights, and probably a playlist for each achievement, just so it's easier to watch. And so I wish you a good night, and we'll see you later, everyone.